Today I'm going to be making my favourite salted caramel cupcake recipe. So it's pretty much a never fail, touch wood.
Oh, that's very, very risky saying that on TV.
Melt and mix cupcake batter filled with a salted caramel and then topped with a salted caramel buttercream. So there's lots of sugar and lots of butter in this recipe.
I'm happy with that.
So we're just going to start off by putting our brown sugar in a pan and heating it up to caramelise it.
So is there a reason you use brown sugar over a normal white caster?
You can use either. I prefer brown because I like the taste of brown sugar.
Yeah. So we're looking to just melt that?
Yes, we'll melt that, and then once we get this sort of started, we're going to just heat up the cream a little bit to add them together.
Yep.
So now we're just going to add our melted sugar to our cream slowly because it will bubble.
Want me to whisk?
That would be great. Thank you.
Salted caramel is one of those things that has really taken off, hasn't it?
It is. It's definitely having a moment, and I can see why. It's so delicious.
A bit addictive.
It is addictive.
Do you need butter now?
Yes, so we'll add the butter slowly. And we're just going to add a couple of pinches of salt to our salted caramel. Very helpful having an extra set of hands.
Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful.
So for the cupcakes, it is really simple. It's easier than a shake and bake. So we're putting all of our dry ingredients in, so flour and sugar. So we'll put our milk in.
This really is like shake and bake, isn't it?
Exactly.
How often would you bake at home?
Not as much now as I used to, just because med school's keeping me out of trouble. And then we bring over our melted butter and just pour that in. And I like to give it just a quick fold around just so the dry ingredients don't splatter everywhere.
Yep. You're making me look bad, Liv, because I always make things look really difficult on this show. Like, try and make myself look fancy.
Well, this is perfect for kids. You can give them a bowl, give them a spoon, and they are good to go with it. So we'll just put that on to beat for a few minutes. It's quite yellow at the moment, so once it goes to that more cream colour, that's when it's ready.
And then we just put them into little muffin tins or cupcake containers?
Muffin tins, cupcake containers, whatever you want to use. And then in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes.
Yep, and preheated at what temperature?
180.
Cool. Our cupcakes took a little bit longer than we thought, didn't they?
A little bit bigger than we initially anticipated.
So how long do you reckon they took?
That size I think took just over 20 minutes.
Okay, so they're going to cool, and while they cool, we're going to move on to the next step.
Yeah, so next up we're making our salted caramel buttercream. So we're going to start with some soft butter, so it needs to be pliable. So
when you were in the pageant, you get a tiara. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, so tiara crown.
Look at me go, I know what I'm talking about. So you get a tiara at the end. What happens with that? Do you get to keep it? Does it get passed on? Is it perpetual?
So the crown is made by Hearts on Fire, and that crown is used for 3 years, and then it will go back to Hearts on Fire. And I did win this little pendant, so it's the same design as the crown.
Yep.
And also they've been kind enough to give me these beautiful rings and bangle.
Yeah, that's awesome. That'd be hard handing back that tiara at the end.
It is. It's one of the perks. It actually comes with 2 security guards and an armoured van whenever you wear it. So,
wow. So 250 grams of butter, softened butter in,
and we'll get that whisking to begin with. A couple of minutes until it's sort of starting to soften up, and then we'll start adding the icing sugar.
Okay. And this you're saying is just a taste?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the fun part about this recipe, is just keep tasting it once it's combined. And you can make it as buttery or as sweet as you like. And just remember that we're also going to be adding the caramel in a minute. So we'll add part of the salted caramel to the buttercream. Okay. So now we're going to add our salted caramel. We want to allow enough to fill our cupcakes with about a teaspoon of salted caramel sauce for the centre. Yep. But we're still adding to taste here. We'll try that. Give it a little whirl. And then we'll have a taste test.
Yeah, good.
All right, give it a test. I reckon we're just about perfect there. What do you reckon?
That's pretty good, actually. Wow.
Actually, you say that like you didn't expect it to be.
No,
any
I
good.
did. When you're dealing with sugar, butter, cream, it's not you can't really go wrong. But it's a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it is.
Which is dangerous. Because you're
true.
going to eat more than you probably should.
Exactly, and it's that dangerous mixture of fat and sugar that tricks your brain.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're all allowed treats sometimes.
Exactly.
So.
This is a sometimes food. So we're done there in a piping bag.
Yes.
And that's a good little recipe. It's quite versatile. You can do it with lots of other things if you want.
Exactly. So you can add whatever you want to add. It doesn't have to be salted caramel.
They look fabulous.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to fill each cupcake with a little hidden centre of salted caramel sauce.
As if they weren't decadent enough. Do you need that bit?
Yes, so we're going to keep that bit.
Sorry.
And we're going to put a spoon of our salted caramel sauce in.
I'm not making these for Charlie though, because she'll just want them all.
And then we're going to put our lid back on top. And it's like we've got a little secret surprise.
Ooh, nice. I'm very, very, very impressed. Obviously, you are much more than just a pretty face.
Thank you very much. Hopefully they taste as good as they look.
Well, they better taste bloody good if they're going to taste as good as they look.